Welcome to Fireside Yankees. My name is Alex, and today I want to discuss the Yankees potentially going into the veteran bullpen relief market, looking for some more added, talent after a couple of injuries hit the unit the last couple of weeks. Jonathan Loáisiga with shoulder inflammation. He's supposed to be ramping up again soon. Aroldis Chapman with the Achilles tendonitis. Aaron Boone said he is getting some work in. Hopefully, that Achilles is going to be asymptomatic soon and will make a full return in the next couple of days or weeks. Then Chad Green going down with Tommy John surgery. Definitely not ideal for this Yankees team. But some of the younger guys coming in yesterday, we saw Ron Marinaccio come in and perform really well. David McKay has gotten some opportunities. Clark Schmidt's been doing solid. He had one bad outing a couple of days ago, but otherwise has been pretty solid for this Yankee team. But according to John Heyman of the New York Post, the Yankees will be active when it comes to the veteran bullpen market at the trade deadline. So I'm curious to see where they go with this. I think there are a couple names they could look at. John Heyman did mention guys like David Bednar, Michael Fulmer, Mark Melicon, Ian Kennedy, and David Robertson. Some of those guys are old Yankees. I looked at David Bednar specifically from the Pittsburgh Pirates, 27 years old, righty, 6'1", 245 pounds. He's a really amazing pitcher. They have team control over him until 2027. So this is a guy, interesting name. I'm surprised he even mentioned Bednar because he is going to cost a ton in terms of just, minor league prospects and whatnot. The Pittsburgh Pirates and Yankees have done a really good job at, connecting and finding pretty valuable trades the past couple seasons. Clay Holmes coming from Pittsburgh has been tremendous for this Yankees team. Bednar is already established and he's performing just exceedingly well. After, coming over from the San Diego Padres to the Pittsburgh Pirates system in 2021, this year he hosts a 1.33 ERA, 12.33 strikeouts per nine, a 0.67 home runs per nine rate, 87.9% left on base rate, and a 27.1% ground ball rate. So he doesn't have that lethal sinker like Clay Holmes is coming, but he does have a pretty solid fastball, a split-fingered fastball, and curveball. His fastball is at 96.6 miles an hour, so he definitely has some great velocity to his game, but his value is tremendous. The Yankees would probably have to give up one of their better young prospects, maybe package a couple of middling options to acquire Bednar. I don't think that's a realistic option for the Bombers. But nonetheless, that veteran relief market is going to be super important, right? This Yankees team is expected to hopefully get Zach Britton back at some point. But Britton, coming off Tommy John surgery, interestingly, I thought it was like a normal Tommy John surgery, but apparently he actually had his UCL taped together with a suture or something like that. So a different kind of more experimental surgery to correct Tommy John, but they didn't replace the whole thing. They literally just taped it back together with this interesting thing. I guess it kind of, tapes it back together, allows it to heal naturally, and then maybe disintegrates, through the body. So really, really interesting method there that Zach Britton tried to accomplish to see if it works out. It actually shaves about 6 months off the recovery process for Tommy John surgery. So definitely something to keep an eye on with him. I don't think it was fully torn, so they went with that more experimental route to see if they could expedite the process. If it does end up panning out and he ends up, coming back, he's still a couple months away. He's projected to make a return in August. That would be a huge addition to the Yankees bullpen, getting one of the best lefty, closers back from injury. But the question is, what is he going to be able to do? His ramp-up session, is he going to be able to actually perform after not really pitching for the last year or so? He missed half of the 2021 season. But if he can come back and they do go out and sign someone to the trade deadline, I think that's going to be a huge bonus for this Yankee team. And, the bullpen right now seems to be kind of the weakness. Yesterday's game, we saw an amazing bullpen performance after Luis Severino came in there and kicked ass, 10 strikeouts over 7 innings. The bullpen kind of carried it the rest of the way. So, had guys like Clark Schmidt in there. Miguel Castro had a good inning. Clark Schmidt, I think even Michael King got involved, and Ron Marinaccio kind of finished it off there in the 13th inning before the legend Jose Trevino came in and really sealed the deal with that single. And Jose Trevino just happens to pop up in the most opportune moments. He was pinch hitting for Kyle Higashioka, literally couldn't buy a hit yesterday, and really had some struggles. He's been struggling offensively this whole season. But Jose Trevino coming in there the first time around, he has 2 walk-off singles this year. The first single was on his dad's, birthday, who had passed away a couple years ago. And then this time around, it was his son's 4th birthday. So he's been really just doing awesome things on birthdays for his family members. And his son, they allowed him to stay up at night, 4 years old. So he's up at, 12 at night watching the Yankees game, 13th inning. Jose Trevino FaceTimed him afterward and was like, I don't know if I believe I believe in something. I don't know what anyone else believes in, but this has just been a special, thing for me this year. He was always been a Yankee fan growing up in Texas, and now going from the Rangers in that trade that sent Albert Abreu over there, and another guy, for Jose Trevino, who's been the team's best, catcher thus far. We did not expect this. Platoon, Kyle Higashioka, and Ben Rortvedt was supposed to be the guy behind Higashioka from the Twins in that trade that, we also got Josh Donaldson, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. But Jose Trevino has been one of the biggest heroic kind of players this year. He's been unbelievable, a legend right now. He's hitting 290. Just an absolute beast, 4 homers and 17 RBIs. Like he's just having a tremendous season, and I hope he continues to do it because it would be such a great story. But as for the veteran relief market, David Robertson, another guy that the Yankees could consider bringing back. He definitely spent some time with the Yankees back in the day, but it wasn't that great. Now he's having a little bit better of a season, I believe, and maybe not great, but someone that the Yankees could work with. He's doing really good this year for the Cubs. 1.59 ERA, over 22.2 innings, 12.1 strikeouts per 9, 0.4 home runs per 9. This is his best season ever, actually. So it's pretty impressive what he's accomplishing. Looking at his velocity and pitches, he's hitting 92 with his fastball. He doesn't really throw a fastball that much anymore. He really does most of his damage to the slider, 23.2%, cutter at 53%, and then a curveball at 23.5%. So he's kind of changed his repertoire a little bit. Dabbled with a sinker in the past a little bit here and there, 4% 2019. Didn't really get much generation out of it, but I'll tell you what, the cutter, he's been killing it with that cutter this year. He's throwing at 53.2% and 73% last year with Tampa Bay. So I like what he's doing. Probably wouldn't cost that much because I believe he is a free agent next year. He's only making $3.5 million this year, so the Yankees wouldn't be, wouldn't have to spend much for him. But I think that maybe he would be a guy the Yankees could like. He's 37 years old, so he is much older, but, a guy that maybe will just come in and help supplement those middle inning situations. I'm curious to see if the Yankees would take a shot on him. And David Bednar definitely makes a lot of sense. If they were willing to give up a big package, I don't think they are. But I'd love to hear opinions on some relief guys the Yankees could dive into, some considerations for this team. It seems like general manager Brian Cashman is going to be active one way or another. Yesterday we talked about the Marlins. Maybe he goes over there and tries to pillage their village. I know we talked about Jazz Chisholm, absolute monster. I would love to see him in the Yankees uniform. He would be so much fun. He'd be the flashiest guy. It's so super awesome to have in New York, but very unlikely they go that route. They're probably just going to take a more conservative approach and just fill that bullpen because Aaron Hicks and Joey Gallo are performing better to start this month. So there is some excitement and optimism regarding those two players. But hopefully the Yankees keep winning, man. This is a team that is fighting. They're resilient. They're coming out of nowhere and making crazy comebacks against the Twins the other day. It's fun to watch this team. I'm having a blast. I know you guys are as well. I'd love to hear any players in mind that you think the Yankees should pursue at the deadline coming up on August 6th. Or August 2nd, rather, at 6 p.m. is the deadline. And so very curious as always. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode.